Let's go. We got a Heisman winner up here. We got Neek. We got Jeff Saturday's got his pancakes. We got 20 minutes commercial free to look back at a thrilling Monday night game last night. And we've got our favorite former Cowboy to do it. The big swag Marcus Spears is up and ready to go. Let's do it. MetLife Stadium right across the river. Dak Prescott. He's watching Cooper Rush getting the start once again. Is there now no rush to get Dak back? Well, let's see. Just over 5 minutes left. One thing they can do, Jeff, is run the ball. Here comes Zeke.
Yeah, look, Zeke out in open space, doesn't get touched for 12 yards. That's good blocking and good finish by Zeke. Look at the leg churn. That's what I'm talking about.
And that sets up the play action perfectly, and he throws it perfectly. Neek, how does he drop this?
Oh, man, I don't know. The lights, it was scary.
The lights.
CD does have a little bit of the drop. He has a reputation for that, but he made up for it.
Well, the best part of that is when he says, my fault, like we all didn't already know that. Giants now trying to make something happen, but Daniel Jones had no chance.
Oh, he had no chance. He got hit so much in the game, and DeMarcus Lawrence said, hey, don't forget about me.
That's right. Jones was pressured on 52% of his dropbacks in the first half. Cowboys up 6-3, but then here comes Saquon, Jeff.
Feed him. He's trying to take on the Zeke mentality. Just get that man the ball. Look at the speed as he broke past the line of scrimmage. That's what that's what Saquon's been doing all season. Kid's special.
14 carries, 81 yards, Giants up 13-6. But here comes Cooper Rush. He finds Peyton, Hendershot for the first down. Cowboys in the red zone, and then Neek. They will pound it in with Zeke Elliott.
Oh, yeah, this is why'd you give this one to Jeff? This is what Jeff lives for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Zeke had 73 yards. Tony Pollard had 105, so they ran it. Fourth quarter, Cowboys going for it on fourth down. The fans are fired up, but they won't like the result. C.D. Lamb gets the first.
Oh, my goodness. Cooper Rush, it seems like he seems to play better at in-the-game situations.
And then C.D. Lamb. We talked about the drop earlier. Here comes the big play as he takes it down to the 1-yard line. Des Bryant loves to see it. Cowboys up 20-13. That fan didn't love it. How about this catch making up for the drop earlier?
Possible. That's a perfect pass, a perfect catch. They get paid too, cornerback. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can't do nothing about that.
C.D. Lamb with a good night after the drop. 8 catches on the night for him, and that touchdown puts the Cowboys up 20-13. A minute and change to go. Still trying to get this thing done is Daniel Jones. He's throwing the ball to David Sills.
Who?
Exactly.
Come on.
Sills falls. Trayvon Diggs makes the pick, and that's all she wrote. Cooper Rush, 215 yards, a touchdown, and no picks. Daniel Jones, a tough night. Cowboys get to 2-1. Hey, Mike McCarthy, here's the question you In fairness, it was the owner who started this. Jerry Jones, 2 weeks ago, when everyone thought, including him, the Cowboys were about to become irrelevant, he decided we need something to talk about, so to create a quarterback controversy, because even I remain the only person who knew the Cowboys were going to do this, and that includes Marcus Spears. How about it, Swagoo? How about Cooper Rush? What is he doing for this Cowboys team right now?
Stabilizing them, G. And honestly, man, like Cooper Rush, RG3 made the point earlier. He get at the end of games, like that's when we judge quarterbacks a lot in this league now, in critical have-to-have-it moments. And he's been able to deliver 2 weeks in a row. Now, listen, man, this is the New York Giants, and I know they were 2-0. Cooper played well. He's not turning the football over. He's keeping this team in manageable down and distances and situations. But the story of this, and a guy that I've been very hard on, is Kellen Moore seems to have had a come to Jesus with himself about how they're playing offense. Tony Pollard touching the ball more. The run game is being instituted a little bit more. Troy and Joe was talking about it last night on the broadcast about how these carries are being distributed between these backs and how these guys are being used. And when you look at the one thing that popped out to me last night is when you look at Cooper Rush drop back the pass, and I want to hear the guys on this, man, them receivers have room. They have space. Like, that's what came to my mind last night. So I don't know if Cooper Rush had a heightened sense of play calling or I need to step my level up because I don't have Dak in there. But whatever the hell he doing, he need to continue to do it when Dak Prescott get back, because that's the one area I thought that would be on display with Cooper Rush playing quarterback these next few weeks that he has to.
The Cowboys rushed it 30 times last night for 176 yards. And Dominique was actually the one in our notes this morning who made the point. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you is the best thing that can happen to you. We would have thought losing Dak Prescott was the worst thing.
Yeah.
But perhaps it has actually influenced, as he just pointed out, this offense to do what it really naturally does best anyway.
Yeah, it's not just the offense, it's the whole team. And I think when you have a guy like Dak Prescott, you get kind of complacent. And you're like, all right, we'll give Dak the ability to change the play. We'll call a lot of passes because we know that Dak is capable of throwing for 350 and us scoring 35 points. But that's not what's best for the team. What's best for the team right now is to take a little pressure off of them. And everyone else stepped up. They were running the ball incredibly well. The receivers and tight ends were wide open. Kellen Moore called a smart game. The defense was incredible. They didn't ask a whole lot of Cooper Rush, which is nice. So you ask a guy to make 5 or 6 good throws a game, he's going to be able to do that, and you protect the hell out of him. It was the opposite thing on the other side.
I got to ask you and Graz a question.
All right.
They ran it 30 times. That's what I like from you guys. So it's a great game plan when you run it, protect the court. It's amazing how smart you guys are today. You know what I mean? I know it's all you two, but think about this. I'm going to move it away from the run game right now, Graz, because I know you hate it. Sure. But the development of Noah Brown and CeeDee Lamb as their one has been special. And I'm just telling you that because when Dak does come back, him finding the rhythm with those guys, and when Spears or Swagoo was talking about how open these guys are, this is what they needed to see. Because the first 4 or 5 games of the season, you got to develop players anyway. The development of these 2 receivers is special. CeeDee Lamb going to the 1 and Noah Brown being in here. Both have almost 200 yards and a touchdown. This is special for the first 3 games.
Robert, you were there last night for Monday Campdown. And when we're talking about how wide open those receivers look, how much of that is a function of the success of the running game? Daniel Jones has none to speak of. He has no time to throw. We will talk about the Giants in a moment. But Cooper Rush is able to be comfortable back there, and the receivers are open. The play action is working. How much of that is all coming from this running game?
Oh, 100% of it is. And when you have a guy like Tony Pollard going for 105, Zeke comes out, runs for 73 yards, that is going to make those linebackers suck up in coverage and give you bigger holes behind them. But I'll take it even a step further. With Kellen Moore's play calling, I said this last week, I think that this is the best way that the Cowboys have to win because of the guys they have on their roster right now. They don't have Michael Gallup. They don't have Amari Cooper. They traded him away. And Kellen Moore had to make a decision. Am I going to try to lead the league in yards per throw or yards per play? Or am I going to try to do what I have to do to win the football game? And that's what's going on. So some people are saying, hey, Dak needs to study Cooper Rush. No, he doesn't.
I mean, we got the 3 smartest guys I've ever seen.
The only thing that the Cowboys need to do is realize that the game plan for Cooper Rush needs to be the game plan for Dak Prescott. Don't get spoiled by Dak's talent, like Dominique is saying, and allow, you look at the Bucs game, right? They're like, oh, he's just pushing the ball down the field. Nobody was open.
Nobody was open.
Okay, so now when you run the ball and these guys are getting open, Cooper Rush is making throws, this is the exact game plan they need when Dak comes back.
My work here is done. I'm out.
Dan Graziano, the reporters are going to ask the questions to Mike McCarthy because the owner, again, I refuse to take the blame for this one. Jerry Jones asked for a quarterback controversy. Is it a ridiculous question?
It is.
Yes.
How long is it for how long does it remain a ridiculous question?
What do you mean? Like how long till Dak comes back?
Okay, fair enough. Let's start with that. They didn't put him on IR because they were going to race him back because they figured they needed him to save their season. They don't need that this minute. So what does that mean?
They didn't put him on IR because after the surgery was done, the doctors told them the recovery timetable would be a little shorter than what they initially thought it was, based on how the surgery went. So he's at a point now where this week in practice, he'll actually be able to grip the ball, throw the ball, and once that comes along and he feels strong there and he's throwing the ball well, they feel like they can bring him back. He told Lisa Salters it could be next week. I think that's far-fetched, especially when you look at the Cowboys and how they've managed his injuries and other injuries in recent years. They're conservative. They usually wait one more week than they have to. Right? Michael Gallup was supposed to play last